Yeah, so with all the things with Crusades, there's so much that involves, like there's so many moving pieces. And my question is, what do you say is the 20% of the things to focus on to get 80%, like the full result, you know?
To do Crusades?
Yeah, like what's the 20, like the 80-20 principle, you know?
Yeah.
What's the 20% of things that you would say to focus on to really bring forth the most results?
Yeah. I think you have to stay very focused if you're going to be successful as an evangelist. And so there's many different opportunities to do things. But when I'm making decisions, I judge it against God's calling upon my life to be an evangelist. And so I think if you just focus in on the main thing, that your goal is to win souls, to lead people to Jesus, then that will enable you to say no to the 80%. And then tomorrow I'm going to be doing some sessions on how to start your ministry. And we're going to talk about a bunch of different things to do to launch out into ministry, more from a very practical, very business type look at things. And some of those things are, like the 80%, are things that you can hire someone else to do or find someone who has a gifting administratively or something. But I would say focus in on your greatest strengths and develop those strengths. So my greatest strengths are in the area of speaking and writing. And so there's lots of other things that go into building a ministry, like administration and accounting and different things like that. And since I still have a relatively small ministry compared to like Christ for All Nations, I still have to do a bunch of those other things. But I make sure that the majority of my time is spent focused in on my areas of greatest strength where I can have the greatest impact, which I think is in the area of writing and speaking, basically both communication. So that's where I try to focus. And so sometimes other things get dropped, but I still keep the main things.
And what about more specifically in organizing a crusade, though, is my question.
Okay, it's specifically in organizing a crusade. I mean, to do a crusade, you've got to do everything. In each place that you go, there will be different strategies that will be successful. And it depends upon your budget. It depends upon your workforce. It depends upon the needs of the place that you're going. And so you have to go and build a strategy. So some places you'll go and, it's so big, you have to have a massive budget. You have to have a big team in order to pull it together. Other places you can go and you can do an outreach with minimal preparation. I mean, but to do a crusade, I mean, you've got to have a sound system. Like, if you don't have a sound system, you can't be heard. You got to do publicity. If you don't have publicity, no one will come. You got to organize pastors. If you don't have pastors involved, you won't have any follow-up. You've got to do all the different aspects of doing a crusade, or you can't have a crusade. There's some things that you don't necessarily need to do. I mean, sometimes, they'll have a welcoming party to greet the evangelist and have a parade through town. Well, if you don't have time to put that together, it's not going to destroy the crusade if you don't do it. But at least you got to have a sound system, publicity, and pastoral involvement. So you just got to focus in on the things you can do, even if you can't do everything. But if you can do everything, do everything. Yeah.
Daniel King is on a mission to save 1 million souls a year, but he can't do it alone. Would you consider sowing a financial seed today? To give, please visit www.kingministries.com.